Right now, one of my good friends in the cricketing world, Huw Turbervill, the editor of the Cricketer magazine, has got a brand new book out, The Final Test. Available at all good bookshops and outlets now. I strongly suggest you get a copy. And Huw is here to tell me all about it. Huw, The Final Test. What made this come about? How did you inspire yourself to write this excellent book?
Uh, the test match between England and South Africa, the Oval, the final test of the summer. First day that it was raining and no, we had no play, and then we had this very sad news that the Queen was very ill. She passed away. That confirmation came through. I just felt it was a bit of an analogous, really, to Test cricket at that time, which struggling, still is struggling. Yeah. I just thought it felt like the end of an era, really. The South Africans didn't seem to want to be there. Now I remember him having a bit of a grumble that there was a tour match between the second and third tests, and I sort of thought of that Basil Fawlty line. I'm sorry to have kept you. So anyway, I think the India team wanted to get back the previous year, didn't they? For the IPL, and they didn't want to get injured. It just felt like sort of Test cricket was becoming a bit of a nuisance to people. But it is still strong in England, Australia, and India. We know though that it isn't so much in South Africa, where there's not even a Test match next winter in South Africa. West Indies, Sri Lanka, all these places. T20 is taking over, isn't it? So there's a league in every cricket nation, including sort of UAE. There's a league in America now. There's probably going to be one in Saudi Arabia soon. So it's really about red ball cricket's battle for survival. I'm sure regular listeners will know. New Turbo banging on about that again, but yeah, the battle for survival. But I do try and be open-minded, and I do talk to T20 aficionados as well. So I'd like to think it's balanced.
How do you feel about the argument that without white ball cricket, without T20, red ball cricket would be long gone?
Do you think so? That's interesting, isn't it? Crikey, you've put me on the spot there.
I
Well, you think it's revitalised it and
think it's
injected?
just ensured its survival. I'll make it a bit simpler,
Oh, that's
particularly
interesting.
at county level.
Oh, okay, right. Yes. I mean, the money it's given the finance the counties from sellout T20 matches, blast matches. No, look. I like T20. I like watching it. I very much like playing it. It's good format. I'm not saying get rid of T20. It's just a balance, isn't it? Half the year playing T20, half the year playing Test cricket. Test cricket needs windows to survive. I mean, yeah, my love is Test cricket. I fell in love with it in the 1980s. That Shakespearean cast of characters, Botham, Lamb, Gatting, Gower, Gooch. All their adventures on and off the field. It was fantastic. But I'm not saying get rid of T20. I'm not saying that at all. It needs room to breathe. Test cricket's being smothered. It's T20 is growing like Japanese knotweed, and Test cricket needs protecting. I guess I'd watch cricket. I certainly would play cricket, but if it was just T20 round the clock, round the year, 12 months a year. Um, look, look. I can see it is it's attractive in a way. Like the FIFA World Rankings for the football, they rank every country 1 to 240, and the fact that Croatia can play Denmark and Papua New Guinea can play Malaysia, it's amazing. And you could have that in T20. So it's not. I'm not saying it's all bad, but yeah, the thought of a universe without Test cricket is barely worth thinking about.
So I'm guessing that the responsibility for all this lies with the ICC because no one wants a kind of diluted future of Test cricket just being played a bit like British Lions rugby, where you just have the Ashes and maybe an occasional series against India,
Mm.
or maybe New Zealand, or maybe South Africa thrown in. I've got a huge fear for West Indies Test cricket being the first casualty to go and looking at the direction of travel. Should the ICC be doing more?
It's just about the windows, isn't it? I think Michael Vaughan and Mike Gatting and so on have suggested having windows. I think some people say three months, some people would say 6 months. But there's a certain inevitability. Money talks, doesn't it? it's tricky. It's really I can't. I just tricky. I can't. I'm not optimistic about the future. I'm not. I mean, money dictates things, doesn't it, Darren? I've just been to the Crucible for a day of snooker up there, and they're talking about moving it from the Crucible 900 seater to a 3,000 seater because that will pay the players more. It's all about the players, isn't it? And their money, and they're not going to be denied, are they? We all know that you get up in the IPL, Trent Bolt or somebody be paying £150,000 for bowling a match for bowling 4 overs, when a county player will be bowling 100. We're being paid £150,000 to play a half a season or a season, 14 matches, 12 matches, whatever, and bowling 24 overs in a day. So 20 overs in a day, should we say? So it's very tricky, isn't it? I'm not Mystic Meg, but I've spoken to David Gower, Graham Gooch, who else? Mudassar Nazar, Richard Hadley, Merv Hughes. And they give me their opinions, and Don and Reese Topley, of course. So yeah, lots of different sort of views about what needs to be done in the book, and lots of memories of Test cricket in the 80s and 90s. It's a bit of a love letter to the Test game, really.
I think you're right. I think with sport, with cricket, there's a lot of emotional attachment, and I think one of the things that I've taken from your book is that you're struggling to adapt to the modern environment. You just mentioned snooker a minute ago. It's 40 years since that final, the black ball final, Steve Davis against Dennis Taylor.
Was
18 million people watching on BBC Two past midnight.
yeah.
It's 20 years since Michael Vaughan's team lifted the Ashes in that memorable series. Sport has this emotional attachment where people that are not necessarily interested in it get invested and boost the popularity. Now, while you say it's about money, but I think to me, it's just about as much as engagement. I think, as we've seen in football, when players start getting paid three, £400,000 a week, it kind of leaves a bit of a bad taste in the average punter's mouth. I'm not sure that they can either relate to those sums of money or just think rather basely getting paid that much for kicking a football about or hitting a cue ball or cover driving a white ball under floodlights. There has to be a point where I think where emotion and engagement have to overlap. Otherwise, if they separate, to me, it's lost.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, everybody said that Johnny Haynes becoming the first £1,000 a week footballer was going to destroy everything, didn't they? I was listening to what you were saying, and I was looking at the celebrations of Liverpool at the weekend on Sunday, and thinking about how the Anfield crowd used to celebrate championship wins in back in the 80s. I don't know, has it changed that much? There seemed to be sort of a lot of emotion and excitement. I don't know. Yeah, another you've posed me another humdinger of a conundrum there, Darren. Yeah. No, does the Anfield crowd relate to Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah any less than they did to Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush? I don't know.
I think it's a good. I think Liverpool's a good example of it's like a culture thing that everyone's entwined. I think you
Yeah,
could probably.
maybe that's an outlier. Yeah, maybe that's an outlier. I mean, I was at Essex the other day, and I was lovely to see all the players signing autographs and everything, wasn't it? And I think they're reasonably uh, receptive to the crowd, aren't they? There is that another good example?
Yeah, yeah, very important that to see players engaging with the youngsters and even sort of senior citizens that are there like to just sort of shake hands or have a bit of
Yeah,
acknowledgement or something like that.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
so,
But
but your
yes,
book,
we are talking obscene. We're talking eye-watering sums of money, aren't we? That this new era is sort of ushering in, and yeah, look, yeah, got another thing. I mean, kids bat and ball, T20, T10. What does it matter? They're still playing bat on ball, aren't they? So the books analysing whether I'm a bit of a snob or whether I'm a traditionalist, whether I'm a fuddy-duddy, because at the end of the day, your son and my son, whether they're playing a T20 match or a 40 over match, they're still going to go out and put bat on ball, aren't they? And
Yeah, yeah.
so does it matter really that 54% of shots are over mid wicket and not and people aren't playing in the V in the first 10 overs? I don't know. Maybe these things worry me more than they worry other people. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about things that don't worry you, that you are enthusiastic about, and that come up as themes through your book. One is, as you mentioned, your love of Faulty Towers, and secondly, your love of Doctor Who. Now, there's an interesting parallel of something that traditionalists will say, well, I only used to watch it when it was John Pertwee and Tom Baker, and I can't be doing with it since the reboot. That's me. And other people that have applauded the. I mean, Doctor Who was always about regeneration and transition. You want to go back all the way back to William Hartnell and everything. How many Doctor Who's have we had? It's been about reinvention. So I think that's quite an interesting parallel to make, which you do very well in your book.
Yeah, do I mention Doctor? I probably mention it. Yeah, they decided to go with Jodie Whittaker, didn't they? As the She came after Capaldi was 12th. She was 13th, wasn't she? Yeah, yeah. She had some fans, didn't she? I think it's more about the scripts and the quality of the writing, isn't it? I think than yeah. I'm certainly not going to say anything cancelable or about the casting. I mean, Joanna Lumley would have been a fantastic Doctor, wouldn't she?
Ah,
If they'd brought her on in the 80s or even now, she'd have been amazing. She'd have been a wonderful Doctor. It's about writing, isn't it? The quality of the writing. I think the quality of the writing hasn't been brilliant in the Jodie Whittaker era. The new one, the new series is quite good actually. I've enjoyed the first three episodes, but the last series I didn't enjoy so much. So it's all about quality of writing, really, isn't it? It's always been a bit zeitgeisty, isn't it?
oh yeah.
Pertwee was a bit of a James Bond. Tom Baker was a bit of a bohemian in his long scarf, a bit Bob Dylan-esque, wasn't he? Sort of wandering around the universe, a cosmic hobo. Peter Davison, the cricket and the sort of Brideshead revisited sort of flannel look, didn't he? And Colin Baker, loud, outrageous outfits, very much like the 80s, and Joan Collins with her shoulder pads and in Dynasty and all that. So yeah, yeah, great
I'm
bit of
John.
sense.
I'm John Pertwee in the Sea Devils. Personally, I won't hear
Oh
anything
yeah,
else.
well, yeah. We watched it today, actually. Me and my friend Morgan. We watched Morgan. Morgan's good at spotting things that that you're not meant to see. So the Sea Devils, they had a long, big head on top of the head, and then the eyes of the actors, you could see them through the neck. So Morgan spotted that, which is annoying. Is what these things?
You've just ruined it for me.
Oh no, I don't think you see it very well, but. And then there was another one, the master in Deadly Assassin was going around and he killing his victims and he shrunk them and they were action men. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, the final test is out now. The uncertain future of cricket's first class game. Um, the king is dead. Long live the king.
Jimmy
Reports of
Anderson.
my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Who are we on now? Jimmy Anderson or not talking about Jimmy, are we?
Well, we can talk about Jimmy if you want. So yes, the new edition of the Cricketer magazine is out.
Yeah, so no, that's interesting actually because we got an interview with Jimmy Anderson and he talks about his time at school and it's part of a section on state school cricket. What can be done? And James Coyne reports on a marvelous state school competition uh, in the Midlands. Fred, inspired by Fred Truman, the legendary Fred Truman, um, the Truman and Root League. So it's a theme we're going to revisit through the year. What more can be done to help state school cricket because Chancellor Shine's doing some stuff, isn't it? And Ace, of course, Saka. So it's a crying shame, isn't it, that cricket died out in state schools from the 80s onwards, and it'd be lovely to have a bit of a renaissance. But we've also got a really interesting article by Fanos Hera, who was the chair of Worcestershire, dissecting the finances of English cricket, and that makes for pretty humbling reading, really, I think, for the counties that don't have a 100 team. Whether he's right or wrong, I don't know, but it's pretty gloomy. Um, we've got Vic Marks, got Jared Kimber, got something on Charlotte Edwards, George DeBell, of course. So yeah, no, that magazine's out now. So yeah,
In all good bookshops. But of course, people should subscribe to it. It just makes life a hell of a lot easier.
and cheaper. Yeah, yeah, and
You can
cheaper to be.
have it pop through your letterbox, but also you can look at it on your phone or on your laptop. And you get the newsletters as well. I love getting the cricketer newsletters, the emails that come through on a regular basis. So
Nice, yeah, with links to stories, yeah.
money
Um,
very well spent.
cricketer.com/subscriptions, I believe. Or
Sounds
certainly
about
it's the subscription subsection on the cricketer.com website, yeah.
yeah. I'll have the links
Thank you, Dan.
in the description to this video. Right. Well, Hugh, best of luck with the book. Lots of cricket books out at the moment, but read this one. It's probably closest to most of our hearts and a very enjoyable read. And it's not quite so depressing. It's just and some excellent contributions from across the scale. So
And I'm not trying to depress anybody,
no.
just because I'm a little bit nervous about the future of Test cricket. But other people might have different opinions.
All right, Hugh. Great to catch up, and I will look forward to seeing you around the circuit very soon.
Very soon. Thank you, Darren.